Good morning, everybody. It is July 31st, the last trading day of this month. And you're watching MarketStream.live. My name is Joseph Cusick with the Cusick Group. And as you can see behind me, we're checking out everything that's happened on the open here in the U.S. markets. And we have a mixed market at best. We've seen that theme was established in Asia, Japan down, China, Hong Kong, India up. Mixed action in Europe. And so we're also seeing mixed action here in the States. We're going to start off with the Dow Jones Industrial. And the reason why the Dow is up 74 points this morning, it's real obvious. When you have names like Boeing up right now 1.5%, that's good for 363 on the upside. You can see Boeing screaming to the upside. Targets were moved up to $280. Real easy to move your targets to the upside, especially when stocks are trending up. And also 3M. These are two of the top 10 components in the Dow 30. This is up 0.8%, good for $1.70. You can see here, though, 3M has been trading in a very bullish, now bearish action. How do I even ascertain that it's bearish? Use the 20 and 50-day moving averages. That basically takes anyone that's been trading the stock over the last 20 and 50 days, and it tells you what they've been doing. For the most part, they were consolidating up until the last week, and then gap down. Earnings. Disappointed, stocks down, looking to rebound, but in a bearish trend at this juncture. We'll watch 3M rebound after earnings, but these two stocks alone have been the silver lining in the Dow 30. Now, taking a look at the S&P 500, basically been waffling between break even and down a little bit. You can see the futures are down about 2.5, but you're looking here, the SPX, which is the cash settled index that tracks the S&P 500, basically waffling around up 10 cents right now. One thing that you're going to want to watch is any challenge of this 20-day moving average. So that's going to put you at 2,458 on the cash settled index. Also, watch the volatility index. Now, there's been a lot of talk about volatility, how, bottom line is that we've been discussing how low it's been, and it's just really a result of very aggressive central banks, both here in the U.S., Europe, and in Asia, and the rise of the ETF world. Bottom line is that volatility is muted. Now, does that mean that the complacency or the trend right now isn't warranted? No, I think earnings have been pretty solid. But what we're going to want to watch over the next 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, is how are these central banks going to unwind these balance sheets? There's been unprecedented action over the last 8 years as far as backstopping economies and stocks and sectors like the home sectors and so forth, the real estate sectors. So the point is that we're going to watch to see how they're going to do this, because that could bring volatility from single digits to low teens into the upper teens, even into the 20s. And it can happen pretty quickly, folks. So not to say that I'm anticipating that it is going to happen, but we're in a battle here. You've seen that volatility now is battling between its 20 and 50-day moving average. This is where volatility could get 215 in a matter of a print. So we're going to watch that very closely. Now, will high volatility sustain itself for a long period of time? It typically doesn't. It's mean reverting, and right now, if you look at realized volatility versus historic, that average right now is coming in most recently more in that 12 to 12.5 range. So we're still below what the market on the realized side is trying to anticipate or expect, but that doesn't mean that we sit on our rear ends and wait for it to happen. We're going to get ahead of that. Taking a look at the NASDAQ, the tech-heavy index sector is basically trading down about 19 points. This is some weakness that we want to keep an eye on. Also, we have earnings, folks. We're going to be talking about some big earnings names this afternoon. Specifically, we're going to get ready for Apple. Apple is the largest company out there. And we're going to see how Apple is actually going to impact the market. We'll look at what the estimated move is. We'll break that down this afternoon, so stay tuned for that. Taking a look at the small caps, the Russell 2000. This is the one I watch very closely. This index is the one that gives me a pulse for domestic issues. Anything on the economic front here in the United States, and boy, folks, there is plenty. With the dysfunction that we see in Washington at this juncture, there is no health care. There is no tax reform. There is no infrastructure. We're not seeing squat come out of Washington right now. So the bottom line is at what point does the market start to weigh on that? Also, we've been seeing some mixed action as far as reporting from regional banks. Remember, we mentioned KRE is the index that measures regional banking. Any fluctuation in the finance world is going to put an impact on small caps, and small caps right now are between the 20 and 50-day moving average. This is the battleground, folks. This is where the bulls are going to have to dig their heels in, and you can clearly see that the small caps have been moving to the downside. Taking a look at the crude markets, pulling off of their best levels that we've seen. Opened up very strong this morning. Dollar, as you can see, I'm going to put the dollar on right now. You can see the dollar continues to slide to the downside. That should be a positive for crude, but we're going to watch the EIA report. That's going to be coming out Tuesday. API comes out Tuesday. EIA comes out Wednesday. That's going to tell us if we're going to continue to see that draw that we've seen in the crude markets. The West Texas contract is down here in the States, but you're seeing Brent that's primarily traded in the Middle East and so forth, and Europe. That's actually trading up 103. We're going to watch this one very closely. There's going to be a lot riding on how the Saudis, the other OPEC and non-OPEC nations adhere to any type of production cuts and or how they cap some of their distribution. We're going to watch also copper. Copper is trading at 289. Challenge of that 290, 293 level, getting up in that $3. Boy, that's going to be bullish for infrastructure and materials. Watch copper closely. Been moving to the upside very briskly. This is very positive for growth in the materials sector. We're going to watch that one real close. Finally, bonds. We're going to see that the bonds are moving down in price. If they're moving down in price, that means yields are moving up. That's strong for financials. But again, after what has been a pretty decent challenge of the 20 and 50-day moving average, it's now coming off. It just can't get above there. Bond bulls on the price side, just not getting the gusto that they need to keep moving. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. And of course, stay tuned. We're going to be doing a lot more pieces that are going to be coming out. The MarketStream team is going to be putting out more information on the Facebook page as well as on their website. You're also going to see more commentary coming out from myself as well during the day, just to give you some tidbits and insights that you can take advantage of and give you more transparency into your financial future. So join us here at MarketStream.live. Have a great day.